Hello, my name is Ella Rome. I'm the author of this memoir. Until now, you heard my stories through a computer voice, but today I want to show you who's behind it. I've decided to appear not just to read, but to open up. My life holds scars, pain, and rejection, and yet I'm still here telling these stories because they matter. Because maybe they'll speak to something in you.
In 1973, my younger sister Jeanna was born. I remember the day they brought her home from the maternity ward. I was 6. I remember vividly how my mother carried in a vast, beautiful package. Jeanna was inside it. Her head was black, and her face was bright red. My father and grandmother were fussing over the crib, and my mother was clearly displeased, probably because of how they had put it together. One day, my father's personal photographer, Tima, came. He took a picture of me holding my tiny sister. I was terrified I might drop her. That year, the dissident movement in the USSR gained momentum. A group of Soviet writers published a letter defending Alexander Solzhenitsyn and Andrei Sakharov, openly criticizing the state's suppression of intellectual freedom. Around the same time, the popular satirical television show KVN was shut down. An unmistakable sign of the regime's discomfort with humor that edged too close to criticism. Jeanna cried loudly at night and didn't let anyone sleep. The only way to calm her was my dolls. At the time, I had just begun collecting dolls that represented different cultures. I had a gypsy named Azza, an Indian, a Moldavian, and an Uzbek. When parents gave my dolls to Jeanna, I burst into tears. At the age of 3, Jeanna fell in love. Our not-so-sober neighbors had a boy her age. They were either working or too busy drinking, so the boy was often left with us. When parents finally came to take him home, the two toddlers clung to each other, sobbing. It was nearly impossible to separate them. When Jeanna was about 5, our mother asked one of those cruel questions adults sometimes torment children with. Who do you love more, Mom or Dad? Dad. Jeanna replied without hesitation. Mother, clearly wounded, responded. I carried you in my belly. I gave birth to you. I breastfed you. Jeanna, with complete seriousness, answered. And Dad ordered me. That's also very difficult. Jeanna was always a fragile, thin girl. Feeding her was a problem. I remember how she grimaced and pushed raspberries out with her tongue, and I couldn't understand why she didn't like them. Jeanna had poor eyesight since childhood and wore glasses. Once, around 1980, my father took us to Moscow, where Jeanna underwent a consultation at the renowned Helmholtz Institute of Eye Diseases, staffed by the best specialists. The doctors prescribed her very complex eye exercises. I don't recall any positive effects, but Jeanna had to do them every day, which was tiring. In principle, Jeanna was a calm child, although one winter she managed to fall into a half-frozen fountain. Her adventures, I think, ended there. I was more naughty. I almost broke my nose, then I got hit in the forehead with a stone, not to mention the numerous falls from bicycles, mopeds, and just falls. As children, there was no particular friendship between us, each had her own company. At first, I was forced to babysit her. I had to put her to bed before going to play with friends. As she grew older, Jeanna began to be naughty. She reported to our parents about all my bad actions, especially connected to boys and alcohol. As it turned out later, parents asked her to do this. They were very concerned about my early interest in such things. Despite having our own groups, we celebrated our birthdays together, as there was only a 4-day difference between them. Each of us had our own cake, which Dad ordered from the local canteen. Mine was made in the form of a white basket with red strawberries. The strawberries were made of buttercream and covered with sugar. I still remember their taste. Jeanna got a 3 bears cake. It really did have bears on it. I keep wondering, is it just a delicious childhood memory, or is it really true that fats and sugars can affect the taste buds in this fantastic way? I remember this sweet butter cream in the form of colored roses. I adored it. I ate it until my mouth was cloying, almost to the point of vomiting. In our village, there was a small shop, a delicatessen. It sold delicious pastries just for 20 kopecks, custard, meringue, and potato. The shop was also selling ice cream, but as a child, I was not supposed to eat it. At that time, people believed that cold food or drinks could cause a sore throat. Sometimes we broke the rule, bought ice cream, and ate it, hiding behind poorly built wooden sheds, where people kept old and used stuff. It was no custom to throw goods away because of scarcity in them. Jeanna was an average student, and she didn't receive a prestigious gold medal like I did. However, she passed the entrance exams and was accepted into the Rostov Medical School, which I had failed 6 years earlier. True, she got into the Department of Hygiene, but that didn't play any role in her career anyway. Since Jeanna started medical school, many of her subjects were credited when she was admitted to college in the US. She graduated with a degree in clinical nutrition. Jeanna has been working in a hospital for many years now. Now Jeanna lives in Saratoga Springs, New York, not far from Albany. We emigrated together and lived in Queens for a while, until fate separated us, first to different cities, and now to various states. Despite her frailty as a child, Jeanna gave birth to 3 strong men. My nephews deserve a separate note. They all successfully attend good colleges, including Yale University, and participate in sports.